Hello viewers, here is an Aragon Scientific, a 900 MHz cordless telephone with wireless jumbo caller ID. And I don't know why they use cordless and wireless at the same time, but that's what they do. Caller ID, announcement of callers, name, number, and date of call. So I'm not sure exactly what it announces, if it's the name or the number. It's probably not the date, that would be kind of useless. 99 call log entries, so it's a decent amount. Large, easy to use buttons, which is subjective, and caller ID display. So I guess the caller ID display is supposedly easy to use. And the wireless jumbo caller ID box is desk or wall mountable. This looks to me like a Thomson's product, so the quality could be a hit or miss. I've not found Thomson to be a consistently good brand, although they have produced a few things that were decent. Lists most of the same features. Let's see if there's a brand on here. I don't see a branding anywhere. It has the same feature list on all sides. The box is really in crummy shape, but because it's got kind of a shiny coating on it, it may clean up okay. I don't know. Let's take a look and see what we have here. Looks like it was taped shut. I don't think that tape is original. I don't remember if this was advertised as new or not. If it was, then it was. I don't know. I don't know where my knife is. I can never find where that thing is. Just use this dull one instead. The dull knives are kind of dangerous though. It looks like I escaped with injury. Okay. Well, it looks like it may be new. Inside the box, we have a better camera angle. And let's see what we got here. This appears to be the base and the phone cord. Oh wow, that's huge. They weren't joking. It's a pretty big power supply. There's nothing in there. That's the handset. Inside here why is there so many power cords? There's 2 power cords. A belt clip. I'm really confused as to why there's 3 power cords involved. Some screws for the wall mount. Okay, let's see what we have here as far as these adapters are concerned. So this is the base, talking caller ID. The AC adapter is permanently attached, which I don't like at all. And this is going to be the Integrated Display Technology Limited, model number TE6997-SIC, made in China. Oh, great. Cordless telephone with jumbo caller ID. It's 0.4 Ren. And while it does not say Thomson's or Atkins anywhere, I think it is in fact a Thomson's product. Here is the handset, which is surprisingly heavy, which is great. Uses a Sanic battery, which probably is no good. I have not found these batteries to be of very good quality. This is the Sanic SS, what does it say, 3S on? This text is so daggone small, I ain't supposed to read it. It is the Sanic 3SN-AA60-S-J1, 6.7 volts, 600 milliamps, and it is in fact the nickel metal cadmium chemistry. China. And that will go right into the recycle because I don't expect that to work. I have another battery here. This is not the right shape, but the plug is the right size, so we use this one instead. And the information's, well, if this is out of charge, I guess we're not going to use it. I'll have to get a different battery. No, this is out of charge. Okay. Get my box of batteries out. Let's see if we can find a battery that fits this. Oh, these batteries are probably out of charge. I'll try this one, but I don't expect much. Okay. Well, I think what I'll do in this case is I'll just put one in that's the wrong size. So originally we would go with the red on the left. So we'll just do this. Oh, maybe the batteries were charged up and I just wasn't pressing the right buttons. Okay. I was not pressing the right buttons. Alright, so we'll just go through the video with this battery because it's fine. Okay, so proceeding on, we have this AC adapter, which I think has nothing to do with the product. This is the Conair Class 2 power supply. Here we go again. Model number MD242-120100, which outputs the 12 volts at the 1000 milliamps. And I'm pretty sure that has nothing to do with the product. The other AC adapter that I suspect goes to the screen, the caller identification screen, is this. What the heck is that brand? The Queen's Class 2 power supply, model KU28-9-2-00D. This outputs the 9 volts, the DC at the 200 the milliamps. Caution: risk of electric shock, dry location, use only in China. Okay. So we have the belt clip, which is kind of weird. Oh, that is super weird. It's like inverted. It connects. What the heck? That is the weirdest belt clip I've ever seen. It doesn't seem like it'd be very strong either. Huh. Well, that's a new one. Now I can't seem to get it off of the telephone. There we go. That is a weird belt clip. Very, very strange. Okay, let's see here. We have the talking caller identification display. George Anderson is calling. Hold on to that because I'll put that back on afterwards. And it looks like it can be battery operated with C-size batteries, or powered by the AC adapter, which calls for the 9 volts, which I'm sure is going to be the adapter. I have no idea where that other adapter came from. I think it really has absolutely nothing to do with the product. Here's the information's on here. It is the Integrated Display Technology Limited Model Number TE6997-SIC. Cordless the telephone with jumbo color of the identification. Made in China. Oh, great. Okay. Let's put George Anderson over there. And it seems like it has some settings to it. Okay. Alright, so there's that. Secondary things second. First things first. Let's see what kind of the documents we have here. Phone must be charged for at least 12 hours on initial use. Okay. It makes such a big deal about that, but I'm sure nobody even does that. This is one of those funny folding manuals. I don't really want to open that up right now. I'll do a more in-depth video on this in the future if this works well. Kind of just curious to take a look at this and see how it functions, if it still works at all. Stupid crummy garbage keyboards just fell over. Okay, let's on this. Plug in the base first. And then we'll plug in the callerID screen and the phone cord, which has the dirt on it, and it too is not replaceable, so once the clip breaks then it's gonna have to take the whole stinking thing off. Okay, so has a temperature on it. That's kind of interesting. It doesn't seem to have any 900 MHz branding on the phone itself, which I find kind of unusual. Typically, that was heavily advertised. Okay, so the screen has a lot of glare, although in the person, which is how the screen is operating, it is quite visible and the contrast is really pretty good. It's not a bad display panel at all. And it looks like all the pixels are good. Now let's see. Contrast can be adjusted. I'll leave it there, that's pretty good. Set ringer. I guess that's just on or off, we'll leave it on. Set the time. It is March the 1st. Okay. Set the temperature. I want it 78 degrees. Fine. 2. Ringer volume.
Volume 6. Volume 7. Volume 6. Volume 4. Volume 2. Volume 1. Volume 1. Volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 5. Volume 7. Volume 7.
That speaker sounds very weak to me. Now it's the hour, I guess the clock. So there's a time frame of which it'll start and stop, which is pretty good if you're using it in the bedroom or something. So it looks like you can say the name, the number, or the name and the number. And review announcement. I'll leave that on. Okay. Okay, so it looks like it has quite a bit of settings on there. And, this is super clear. It's temperature, hey, not bad. Alright, let's see if the cordless phone itself works. Looks like it worked, and you can see the operation system is a typical Thomson-Atkins thing. Sounds like everything's working. Doesn't seem to have any really settings on the handset to speak of. Alright, let's start by calling this thing up and see what it sounds like. Pretty weak ringers.
Ring it. Ring it. Ring it.
Well, the volume on there is absolutely pitiful. I think the screen is even quieter than the handset. Let's off the ringer on there and try again.
Ring it. Ring it. Ring it.
The volume stinks. That's too bad, because conceptually it's pretty cool.
Rosie Porter. 000555444. Rosie Porter. 000555444.
Yeah, the voice is not
Rosie
bad.
Porter. 000555444.
The clarity of the voice isn't too bad.
Abby Thompson. 00032198876. Abby Thompson. 00032198876. Abby Thompson. 00032198876.
Did I have the ones correctly here? This seems to have broke.
88888. John Smith, Jr. 000888888.
Okay.
John Smith, Jr. 000888888.
Well, it's kind of a cool thing. The clarity of the voice's pronunciation is pretty decent. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. The volume is definitely pitiful though, even right here in a fairly quiet environment, within a meter of the equipment. I find it very faint. There's no way that somebody who has a hearing impairment is going to hear this thing at all. Which is really too bad, because if you have the screen somewhere else in the house, having a secondary ringer, especially if it was of a good volume, could really be advantageous. Unfortunately, that opportunity was severely missed here. Okay, let's go to the mains and let's make an outside call and see how the handset sounds. It says waiting as soon as you turn it on. There's a lot of other things that it could say which I think would make more sense. Buttons have a pretty good feel to them, surprisingly.
Greetings from Jones Family Farms as we look forward to spring. Beginning on March 4th, on the Friday, March 4th, the winery will be opening for its 2022 season, and will be open on Fridays through Sundays from 12 until 5. So we look forward to seeing our many friends and experience our wide selection and some new releases. The winery is located at our Homestead Farm location, which is 606 Walnut Tree Hill Road here in Shelton, Connecticut. We have a full complement of all available wines you can learn about.
Sounds a bit muffled to me. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but to me it lacks a lot of good clarity in the real high frequency range. So depending on who you're talking to, this may not be the easiest phone to hear on. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and record a testing message into the testing answering machine.
2 new messages and 6 old messages. Message 1.
This is the testing message talking into the Oregon Scientific, talking callerID 900 MHz cordless telephone. As I have found to be the case with most of these General Electric or Thompson or the Atkins telephones, seems to have a pretty good amount of side tone to it, which is kind of uncommon for a lot of cordless phones. Okay, I'm departing the studio now, and I'm going to roam across the room. So far it still sounds clear to me. Still sounds clear to me. I don't hear any static at all. And now I am all the way across the room. I heard a couple little bits of static here and there, but nothing major at all. So I would say, as long as the message is clear as well, I would say that the reception on this phone is pretty good. Okay, I'm going to hang up using the button this time, and then I'll call back and record a second message more briefly, and at the end of that message I will hang up directly into the cradle so we can hear what that sounds like. First I'll change the channel as well. Okay, the channel has just changed from channel 22 to channel 32, or 25 to 32, whatever it was. Now the channel has been changed to channel 39. Now it has been changed to channel number 6. Over and out.
Message 2.
I'm surprised this telephone gets as good of a reception as it does, considering how lacking the antennas are.
End of messages.
Those messages were relatively clear. I would say the same thing about the incoming audio. it kind of sounds to me like it lacks some of the sensitivity in the higher frequencies. It also kind of sounds like it has a lot of like too much gate to it, and it doesn't capture consonants very well, especially if they're at the beginning or the end of a word. But I think that it's still very reasonable and very easy to understand what people are saying, as long as they're properly talking into the telephone, which of course is what they should be doing. But anyways, so for now it seems like it works pretty well. The reception was very clear. I'm surprised it's as clear as it is from a distance, considering the antennas are not much. So yeah, it's kind of a cool telephone, and the volume of the talking caller ID unit is kind of detrimental, but other than that, it's got a pretty good design and everything seems to be relatively well executed.